On this week's ADCs of Wrestling, we preview the greatest Royal Rumble. Who had the better post-shake-up showing, Raw or SmackDown Live?
This is Basement Steve, and also there's a new episode of Between Two Beers.
That's right, thank you, Steve. Plus, AJ Styles sings about his junk. Let's go.
Let's go!
Let's go! Oh, hell yeah!
Are you ready for a show with questionable wrestling impressions by a guy I know?
It's gotta, yeah.
ADC!
Ooh, yeah, dig it!
ADC!
Let me tell you something, ADC.
What is wrestling?
This is awesome, Michael!
Do you know your ADCs, the ADCs of wrestling?
Welcome to the ADCs of Wrestling, also known as the Maddie and Andrew Show.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You put my name first.
That's the thing. You're supposed to be like, no, it's the Andrew and Maddie show.
But it's your show. You should be first.
Yes, you ruined the intro already. Well, anyway, it's the ADCs of Wrestling. It's the greatest podcast. I am Andrew David Cox, the man of 1,004 voices, the guy that does all the songs and all that stuff. That's my thing. That's my intro. You know that stuff. Matt DeMarcus here once
What
again.
up?
Double digits, Matty. 10 episodes deep, my friend.
Who would have thunk it?
Yeah.
Here we are.
Now I got like a weird thing on the podcast page where it's going to be like a one space kind of uneven with the numbers and the columns, because it'll be like episode 9 : then episode 10 :
Well, it's going to be weird, yeah.
it'll be like shifted over a little bit.
It's gonna
gonna
look
look
weird.
like the tower's leaning on the page. This is how my mind works, people.
This is it. This is the last show ever.
Well, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't have fun here. Everything about the show sucks until I hit record, and then I have a great time talking to you about wrestling.
It's almost like as soon as you're like, okay, fine, let's just hit record. And then you turn on and everything's fine.
Yeah. I'm sure that the people that did Top Turnbuckle with me would completely agree with this on all levels. Like, they'd just be like, it'll be fine. We'll have fun. The show will be good. And then in the end, they'll be like, it's a good show. And I'll be like, that was the worst show we ever did. It's going to get canceled. That show never got canceled.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yes, it did. Oh, my God.
Can I just tell you, I'm a little sad this morning?
Why?
A few reasons.
Okay.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
Absolutely heartbreaking last night.
You are our resident hockey hoser.
Yeah. Better team won.
You're a little more Canadian than me.
Yeah, better team won, and that's
You're from
fine.
the country.
It was a tough way to lose. Freddie was rough. Jake, my God, Gardner, if he doesn't play another game for the Leafs, fine. TFC lost in unbelievable fashion last night.
Oh, yeah, but that was just the CONCACAF Cup. Who cares?
It freaking matters, man. That's it's a Champions League, plain and simple. I don't care if it's
Champions
CONCACAF.
League.
It's never been won by an MLS team, let alone a Canadian team, and TFC was right friggin' there. They had to come from behind. They did it. And
who were they playing? Americas?
No, they were playing Guadalajara.
Guadalajara?
Yeah. So, anyways.
Did they play Americas like last week or something?
Yeah, Club America.
Yeah. Club Americas.
And then Tigres before.
America?
So they had a tough way to go. They had to get through 3 Mexican teams, but it would have been awesome because then next summer they would have been going out overseas and playing in the Champions League against teams like Real Madrid and stuff. So it was a big deal.
In case you guys haven't figured it out, we're from the Toronto area, and Maddie likes sports.
And then obviously the Jays lost, but the Raptors won. Yay! So anyways.
Yeah, see, there you go. The Raptors won, the coolest sport of the 3.
Huge night in Toronto sports, and they went 1 for 4 if you include the Blue Jays and the Marlies.
You know, like 70% of our listenership is from the United States, right?
Yeah, well, they watch sports too.
Yeah, and they're also like, hockey's stupid.
Or maybe they like hockey because there's a team in most states.
Yeah, that's true. There's like a ticking or a thudding sound happening behind you, and I don't know what's going on. Is it just my cat like trying to destroy my home?
It's a cat behind the drapes.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Should we get into some wrestling now that I've talked
No,
about
who
sadness?
talks wrestling on this show?
Fair enough.
It's more fun. This is actually a lot more fun. If the show was like this and we had video, I think we'd have like all the subs. If it was just you complaining about Toronto sports and me being like, is that my cat? That would make for a really good show. Yeah. Plus, I have a lovely speaking tone. And, you know, like I said, you're our resident hoser. So you get to be all like, oh, Leafs, bud. Oh, bud. Oh, the Blue Boys.
Yeah. Anyways.
You know what? I do work in sports television. Last night, there was a silence that fell over the newsroom when the Leafs went down.
Don't doubt it.
By like 2 goals. And it was basically over.
Yeah.
I went to the gym on my break, and it was like 4-3.
Yeah.
And I came back, and it was 5-4.
So it was your fault.
And it was quickly.
So it was your fault.
6-4. Are you gonna get into that superstitious bullshit?
You changed up what you were doing, and all of a sudden, magically, they were losing. Your fault.
All right, let's run down the show right now. Obviously, this is going to be a weird show because it's got a shelf life of like 13 hours. So,
yep.
Tell your friends real quick, guys. Listen. No, I got some skits and stuff to make it fun. So it's hopefully more evergreen, to use an industry term. That means it stays like evergreen.
Yeah, no, we get it.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about, obviously, a bit of news and notes from the world of wrestling first, and then we're going to do what we can to predict the greatest Royal Rumble. Matt, get the card up. Hopefully you have
It's
it
already
up.
ready.
And then we're going to go into a little Raw and SmackDown stuff that, I mean, it will hopefully mean something, but this was like just a week of advertising for a show on a Friday, which really blows up the podcast, Maddie. This ruined the whole show.
Yeah, I mean, at least the prediction part will be a little old by the time people actually get into this over the weekend.
But they get to compare. They'll already be
Yeah.
like, I wonder if that's how it happened. And they'll be like, nope.
Nope, we were wrong.
Yeah, we were wrong. That's not how it happened at all.
Yeah.
These guys are idiots. Stupid idiots.
Yeah,
Maddie, you were sick yesterday,
I was.
which
Feeling better today,
ruined the
though.
podcast even more. Oh, I don't care. I hope you feel terrible.
Wow.
No, that's. I'm just kidding.
all right, then.
I'm glad you feel better.
Jesus.
But that was really mean. But it's definitely it's made the podcast worse.
Yep.
So I just want to thank you for
You're
for
welcome.
ruining everything.
You're welcome.
No, hope you feel better. I hope you don't get me sick because then I'll be sick. That's all I got to say about that.
That's very selfish.
That's
of you.
about all I got to say about that. Now,
Should we get into wrestling? We probably
do it.
should.
Let's do it.
First, I guess I would be remiss if I didn't say that some crazy stuff happened in Toronto this week.
Yep.
Obviously, our thoughts and our love go out to the families and the victims of anybody affected by the Yonge Street incident in Toronto. It was a crazy day for me. I had to drive into work that day, and I was just listening to the news, and it was just kind of an eerie vibe driving in and just thinking like that this is happening right in your own backyard. Where you live every day. I have a friend who was tweeting about how it was like right outside of his apartment. It could have been him. It really hit home.
It's definitely close to home. It doesn't happen here often, and
No.
the nice thing is with seeing that the city come together, and after any of these tragedies, these cities come together, and we're always going to say like the love is going to beat out the hate and try to get hate out of your heart as much as possible. It's just it's terrible, and hopefully things change eventually, but.
Yep.
The one thing I got to say is, when these events happen, people got to just step back for a second and do not start racially profiling, because everyone was friggin' wrong about this.
Oh yeah.
And it's tough. There's not much more to say.
The biggest hero definitely is the police officer that took the guy
Insane.
down. Man,
Absolutely
that video
insane.
circulating on the internet is just unbelievable.
It's insane.
If you haven't seen it, it's basically a video of the guy that was driving this van that assaulted these people, and the police officer that shows up on the scene, the guy points an object at him, and the police officer's like, I don't care, I'm not going to shoot you, get down.
Yeah.
The guy's saying, shoot me in the head, and
Keeps saying he has a gun. He keeps reaching
and
into
the
his
cop
pocket.
can just tell by the situation that it's not true.
Yeah.
And he takes him down non-lethally, and the guy's going to get charged now and go to jail and be processed, and nobody died, and it's just like a perfect example of how this world should work. De-escalation is a thing, people, but let's not get too political
No.
on our wrestling
Just-
show.
It's better to mention it, though, just to kind of put it out there and say that we're thinking of the victims and the families and everyone involved, and hopefully we all come out better on the other side of this.
Yep. Man, we're going to England in a month. And I'm actually going to have to figure out what to do for the podcast for that, 2 weeks that I'm
Skype.
away. I could try to do a
I'll do
Skype
it.
show, maybe.
I'll do it on my own.
Or you can do it on your
Let's
own.
do it.
We'll see. Maybe I'll Skype in for my segments. But we were just kind of worried about being in London because of the attacks that have happened there and stuff. And to have it just happen at home,
Yeah.
it makes you realize you really can't avoid stuff like this. It just... There's no way to, predict your life and what's going to happen. So you just got to enjoy it every day and hug your loved ones and just live your best life. So that being said, let's have some fun. Let's talk about professional wrestling.
Let's do it.
Unfortunately, the first topic is a heavy topic.
It's another heavy topic. Yep.
But hey, we're breaking down barriers. We're breaking the walls down this week.
Nice.
Yeah. Got to loosen it up a little bit. Got to test the pipes out. I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
By the way, yesterday, all I could think was, Maddie can't do the show. He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
I did puke.
He's gonna puke. He's gonna puke.
I actually did puke.
He puked.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun.
Goddamn, pal, you puked.
Yep.
Ha ha ha.
So how about that serious thing we were just about to talk about?
We make movies here, pal. So Triple H, one of the news stories circulating was he was out there kind of defending the WWE's decision to go to Saudi Arabia, saying that they have to make inroads and whatnot. I understand what they're saying. They can't be there, but in my opinion, and not to stir the pot too much, but you can't go there. If you don't agree with the country's, laws and the systems they have in place, you just don't support them. And in my opinion, this is just all about the dollar. It's all about the bottom line. It's not about making change. I don't think the women's revolution was about making change either. I think Triple H saw that and Stephanie claimed it, and that's a whole other story. But I don't know. I don't think you go. The best thing you can do is say, hey, we know you have a market there. We know you have people there who want to see our product. If you want to see us, you're letting women wrestle on the show.
Yeah.
Because that's what we are. We are all about women's wrestling. We are pushing that beyond belief. We're not showing up if half of our roster can't be there and is treated like second-class citizens. Yep. That's my opinion.
And you know what? I see both sides to it. I definitely agree with you 100%, because if anything at this point, this was a good chance for WWE to kind of stand up.
Put your foot down.
Exactly. Put your foot down and say, listen, if you really want us here, we're going to be one of the pioneers of the change that is currently and actively happening in the country. It's just happening really, really slow.
Right.
So, I mean, we're talking about thousands of years, right? So I definitely get it. The other side of it is you also, as terrible as it sounds, you also have to kind of respect the process. It is a culture change that they're going through, even though it is slow. So it's tough to say, well, we're just going to come in here and change everything for you really quick. So I'm with you 100%, but there is a small part of me where it says WWE going there once, showing them this is how big this can be, this is how much money it can bring in. We're not coming back unless this happens. I don't know if that's the way it's going to happen, but
I guess that's a good point. If you go there and it is a big deal and it does generate a lot of revenue, and then you say,
then you take it away.
But that's it, pal.
Yeah.
Like a drug dealer. Give them their first hit for free.
Yeah.
And then withhold. Look at me, withholding.
Yeah, like show a kid a toy and then tell him he can't play with it until he cleans his room.
Right.
Sort of thing.
Yeah. Speaking of cleaning the room, I have to clean this whole house after the pod. So.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. I'll help you vacuum. It's fine.
No, you won't.
No, I won't. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Speaking of getting the hell out of here.
Yeah. Hey, good segue. Didn't even plan that.
Enzo Amore had a cryptic tweet or Instagram post this week, and it was just basically, it's been real, with a pair of his sneakers hanging up on a power line. So, I mean, I think we all knew he was done already, but this is kind of confirmation.
Well, and it's also the timing seems to be it's been 3 months. That's typically their non-compete. So don't know if he's going to go wrestle elsewhere or if he's just done.
There's still like a criminal investigation underway with this guy.
I hope this isn't the case of him being self-destructive in terms of hurting himself, but at the same time, in terms of his career, honestly, go fuck yourself, Enzo.
All right.
That's it.
Hey, The Rock had another baby girl.
Yeah,
that's kind of happy.
Picture
was
something
nice.
The picture he posted was cute as hell.
It was cute AF.
Getting a little tummy time or skin time with Daddy O there. Yeah.
Props to Sean Pollock from Post Wrestling, who actually went and tweeted during Raw that despite what Corey Graves said, skin to skin contact for a newborn is actually very important. So. He just had a baby, so
yeah.
I hope things are going well there, John. I actually met him when we did went to the Jim Ross show at Survivor Series last year. He was a nice dude. Yeah. Post Wrestling is a good site. It used to be the live audio wrestling crew over at TSN Radio, and now it's just John and Way kind of doing their own thing, bootstrapping it. They also did a post-table roundtable discussion with Conrad Thompson from Something to Wrestle back, I think it was just after WrestleMania weekend. And it's good stuff. Check it out. Speaking of Something to Wrestle, I should have something as well. I haven't been on the actual podcast because what happened is we missed a couple cutoff dates, and now it's just like if we can't do it consistently, it's easier for them to just sort of put my stuff on their YouTube channel. So that's where it sort of lives now.
That's kind of cool, though.
It's not bad. You still get their, their exposure and some clicks from them putting my YouTube channel and stuff on the end screen and whatnot. So, but I have something for Unforgiven 98 with the first ever Inferno match, bro. Doesn't matter if Kane gets burned. He's supposed to have scars, bro. It's perfect, bro. It's wonderful.
Nice.
I think Paul Bearer's there as well. Oh, yes.
I haven't even heard it yet, so I look forward.
Yeah, it's going to, circulate there on YouTube. It'll get like a good 600 views. It'll blow the internet up. And like 80 people will just be like, why didn't they just get the real people to do these?
Well, Paul Bearer's dead, so...
Well, yeah,
he's a tough one to get.
See? It's impossible to get Paul Bearer, so instead, I'll just be there yelling about Kane.
Which, speaking about, past wrestlers who are formerly deceased, I think you have something for us?
Hey, good. See, you know what? Now we've got to kill him. We're
It's
just
almost like this is happening on
we're
purpose.
just riding
but it's
around on our
not.
two-wheelers like Segway machines.
Yeah.
I made it between two beers. There's a new one.
And it's ruined. You ruined the segue. Perfect.
Perfect. Now
Yeah.
shit all over your Segway. Now I can be the king of the show again. No, Basement Steve came to me earlier this week. He's like, I feel real bad. I've been freeloading your ass. That's my Steve's not good. And he's like, I got a new between two beers. Somehow there's a guy on it who's dead. So I don't really know how to tee it up other than to say that it's with a very special WWE legend who's going to be a part of the greatest casket match.
Yes, he is.
On Friday,
Yep.
which is definitely happening.
He's coming
and is
back.
A
He's making
real
a comeback.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without further ado, let's throw to episode 2 of Between Two Beers.
This is Between Two Beers. What? Oh, hell yeah. Welcome to Between Two Beers, live and in color from the basement of my pal ADC's house. And that's the bottom floor. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. Yeah, Basement 316 says I just freeloaded your ass, ADC.
This better be good, Steve, or you're getting your ass kicked out of here.
Shut the fuck up.
I hate you so much.
All right, now let's have a good show here on Between Two Beers. It's going to be 100% audio whoop ass. Yeah, we got one hell of a badass special guest today. He's not even alive, but he's here in ADC's basement. He's probably the only guy who's crazier than me. It's the Ultimate Warrior. How you doing? What the fuck? As you, Basement Steve, Just call me Steve, introduce kid. me to the ADC's universe of basement casting. I'm here summoning the power of the ADC in the air. Oh, hell yeah.
Enjoying being a part of the greatest podcast in history, channeling the power of the basement.
All right. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, shit, we're basically out of time already because that was so fucking long. But, well, hell, they're going to have a battle royal in the desert this week in Saudi Arabia. How do you feel about that? Do you wish you were alive? Do you wish you could be there? Do you wish you could throw John Cena over the top rope, The Undertaker over the top rope? If you could pick someone to throw over the top rope, who would it be that you would haphazardly gorilla press slam to the desert ground and probably injure their ass?
Were I to lay down in the desert and be run over with lawnmowers?
There ain't no damn grass, kid.
Or the green neon purple powers of what? John Cena.
Are you saying
the
you'd eliminate
cosmic
John
rays
Cena?
would rain down, and I would make sure to explode the powers of
shit.
the sun and take the
gonna explode
Undertaker
the sun?
and throw him through the universal cosmic basement
Basement 316 says you just exploded his
I have
ass.
to say that the Undertaker's probably good to Barry Rusev.
All right, if you understand what the hell he just said, then give me a hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I don't know whether to shit or wind my watch. Goddamn, kid, you or something else. Hell, you mentioned The Undertaker, Barry, and Rusev.
Hulk Hogan.
No, I want to ask about The Undertaker. Do you think that The Undertaker is alive or dead?
The Undertaker killed Hulk Hogan.
Bullshit. Answer the other fucking question.
Has the Undertaker soul left his body
Goddamn,
in
kid.
the universal vessel to transport his soul?
What?
Someone took
The
control
question was-
of the plane.
I'm about to open a can of whoop ass if you don't answer the question.
Send it into a
God damn, kid.
and send it back to hell. But
so
his
you're saying
cosmic
Taker's
power
alive or he's not
rose
alive?
above the ground. And now looks
What
at
the
him
hell are you talking
with all
about,
the
kid?
power
God damn
of
it.
the Ultimate Warrior.
Saying power alive.
And also, he carries a lot of power
In the urn.
in his hand, where he stores the power of Hulk Hogan.
Swig a beer for being confused. This has been Between Two Beers. That was Between Two Beers. What?
Wow, that was something else. He's all kinds of fired up, but usually Steve's the crazy one. We
Not
saw
this
with
time.
JBL, Steve was very disarming. JBL didn't know what was going on, and well, you got the Ultimate Warrior involved, and it's his show.
Well, he just moans and groans through everything.
How many
so
times did he say power?
I have no idea. I don't know what he says half the time.
He said
so-
power a lot.
Did
Steve
he?
brought that up too. Steve mentioned it too. Yeah.
Don't know. It just sounded a lot of like growling and snarling, and I think I heard him snorting something there.
Oh, he snorted a bunch of times.
Yeah.
And he really, like, he wanted to talk about Hulk Hogan. I think he's just kind of got, like, PTSD from their
Fair
whole
enough.
feud where just everything is just Hulk Hogan. He's very angry. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Jesus.
Anyway, let's predict the greatest Royal Rumble.
Alrighty.
You know, it's happening in like 4 hours, so this is very relevant for us to do predictions right now.
Yeah.
The fourth wall has been shattered, by the way. Like, I don't care at this point. We're putting a show out there, okay? It's going to be fun. You're going to enjoy it.
Okay.
But it might be past due already.
Well, do you want to run through it and make some changes?
I don't even have the card open.
Yeah, I got it.
So you just read it, and I'll give my thoughts on it.
Okay. Well, first off, I guess we'll start. What do we want to do? Okay, you know what? Let's just start at the beginning.
Let's start at the Begana.
Let's start at the bottom.
And go to the Endino.
The beginning/bottom. You know where I'm going.
From Begana to Endino.
Let's start with the Cruiserweight Championship. We got Cedric Alexander versus Callisto, who won the gauntlet match
Oh, yeah.
this past week.
I have not watched 205 Live since WrestleMania. Also, remember how we're like, oh, we're going to start watching NXT? I haven't watched it since Mania.
Oh, I watched it. I actually
I like to binge NXT. It's good binge TV. Like
is.
if it were on Netflix or some kind of streaming service, that would be great.
Yeah, it's not super episodic,
It's
but
on,
yeah,
it's on WWE Network.
Yeah,
That's
I get
a joke.
it. I get it.
No-sold my joke.
I do that on purpose sometimes. You know that, right?
Yeah, because it pisses me off.
Yeah. So Cedric and Callisto.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
Cedric's going to win.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm also taking Cedric.
It's going to be a good match, though. I think that hopefully they do it early in the show, and the fans there are really excited for some WWE wrestling, and there weren't like 80 dark matches before it with bigger stars.
Well, I think what's crazy is there is an hour kickoff show, and then this show's also apparently supposed to be like 6 hours. So it's possible that
WWE would never make a long show.
yeah, so it's possible it could be a kickoff show or a kickoff match, but whatever. Let's go to the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Usos.
This is interesting to me because the Usos are big baby faces. I really enjoy what they've been doing with Naomi and making Jimmy and Naomi kind of an on-screen tandem.
Yep.
And making them more human. That being said, Bludgeon Brothers are the shit. What? I love their hammers. They're going to win.
Yeah, I've got to go with you here. Naomi can't be there to distract, so I just don't know how they take this away from the Bludgeon Brothers. So
yeah. Hey, how do you feel about it, Basement Steve?
You already said it, ADC. Bludgeon Brothers are the shit. What? They're gonna win the tag match. I'm tired. Fuck it.
yeah, well, he did record a full episode of Between Two
It really
Bears,
does
so,
your head in, yeah. If you interview the Ultimate Warrior, he's still reeling. So.
Yeah. So now we go to the next one, which is a bit of a weird one. It's almost kind of telegraphed because the bar has moved over to SmackDown, yet they're challenging for the Raw titles against Bray and Matt. So, I mean, I'm assuming we're both taking Bray and Matt on this one.
Well, they've set the bar so low lately.
Oh.
That I have to go with Bray and Matt, yeah.
That was terrible.
No, it was perfect.
That was terrible.
That was the best joke you've ever heard, Matty.
I'm also taking Bray and Matt because it's way too obvious.
Yeah, like, we can talk about this at the end, I guess, but we're expecting this to just be a big house show, right? With a possible...
I think so.
With, like, one possible big moment. Like, the Madison Square Garden show where AJ won the world title?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what this is going to be. I think it's going to be... Just to spoil my pick right now, I think Roman Reigns is winning the title in Jeddah.
Okay.
But I think everything else is just going to be for fun, for funsies.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're wrong, but there is a possibility for them to kind of get crazy here. It is a WWE Network show, so they might do something a little nuts where they do, move some titles around, which takes me to the next one, Hardy and Jinder.
Yeah.
This is where I talk about, like, should I pick with what I think is going to happen or with what I hope is going to happen?
You use your heart or your junk.
Yeah, because I think, like, in my head, I'm like, well, Hardy's going to keep it and he's going to stay on SmackDown and everything's fine. But in my head or in my heart, now I've lost myself. My hope is that
in your junk,
for it to be a good show, Jinder wins it back and actually takes the U.S. title to Raw, which also changes my pick for the Intercontinental one. So you know what? Screw it. I don't care what our score is. I'm taking Jinder.
Okay, fine. You can be the mark, and you can do what you think would be really fun and cool, and I'll go realistically what's going to happen, and Jeff's going to retain.
Cool. You know what? You can keep picking the winners, and I will keep picking what would make the show better.
When are you pick the stick out of your ass, Maddie.
In your face.
This is the house that ADC built.
So let's move on to Seth versus Finn versus Joe versus Miz Intercontinental title. What do you think?
It's gonna be fun. Man, I haven't put any thought into this whatsoever. Samoa Joe winning the IC title would be kind of fun because then they could tease that he would win both titles.
But then he would have to take it to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And you can't have the Intercontinental in the U.S.
Seth is going to retain. You can't put an IC title on a guy like Seth Rollins and have him never defend it.
But it makes Jinder winning the title back a little more interesting.
Yeah, I know
now,
for your
doesn't it?
theory, okay? God damn it.
God damn, kid.
Well, at least now
You're derailing my shit.
you see where I'm coming from now.
No.
So you're going with Seth?
Yeah, Seth's retaining.
Okay. I'm because I picked Jinder, I'm gonna pick Frig. I'm gonna pick Joe.
All right. Seth's going to retain, and then you know what they're going to do to the stadium afterwards? Burn it down!
I hope they don't. It's a really nice stadium.
No, they're going to set the stadium on fire.
No, I don't think they will.
No, they won't. Hey, neighbors.
All right. How about
we're awake over here.
One of the two non-title matches, Cena versus Triple H. In the who gives a shit match of the week.
What does this mean? I mean, I don't know.
There's no build-up. It's literally just two guys going out there and wrestling.
Triple H is going to go out and do the job for John. John's been beat down so much before WrestleMania. When you think about a show in Jeddah, in Saudi Arabia, who's a massive international star, you want the audience to go home happy. John Cena is going to get a win over Triple H.
I'm going to get buried in the desert.
I can't really disagree with you there, so I'm also taking Cena. It just he's going to be away from WWE for a while, so I think he goes out with a win.
Also considering this is basically a house show, like Cena could win by Triple H getting a disqualification, anything like that.
Yeah.
It could just be shenanigans.
Doesn't even really matter, to be honest, because neither one of them are going to be on TV after this for quite a while. So
maybe Nikki Bella comes out with a run in and just like,
oh no,
give Cena the new rack attack.
Well, and what's funny is, did you hear that they actually filmed their breakup for Total Divas?
Oh, perfect.
Or Total Bellas, one of them. It doesn't matter. So, which to me is just like, okay, well, you probably broke up weeks ago, and then we're like, well, how do we get money out of this?
Conspiracy theory 101 there, Maddie.
Anyways, I'm leaving. You know what? We'll do Brock and Roman. You already said Roman. I haven't given mine. I actually think Brock is going to retain.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting. I just think that...
more or less because it's a hope. My reasoning is I hope he wins, and I hope he vacates the title and leaves as a monster. Otherwise, all of this is just stupid. It's stupid anyway.
Think of how stubborn Vince has been in his booking of Roman Reigns. To think that it's, it's beyond them to just transfer all the heat that Brock got from beating The Undertaker and from being a monster to years back to Roman Reigns in an attempt to still push Roman Reigns the top guy. I don't think that that's unrealistic. I think that that's what they're going to do.
Well, yeah, and I mean, you're probably right, but I also
that's why they've been trying to get him so much sympathy over the past month.
True, and I also think that they're going to... this could be an opportunity to push Braun, because if you have Brock vacate the title, then you can have a bit of a tournament, which is how you get Braun into that picture.
I mean, that'd be fun.
I don't know.
The problem with Braun in the title picture, and I don't know if this bothers them or not, but it's like he's such a big, dominant guy, and like we saw on Raw, where he just destroyed Kevin Owens repeatedly,
which was amazing.
Which is the best part of the whole show.
Just the way. We'll talk about it.
Is he's so big and so dominant that I feel like they've been making a concerted effort ever since that gauntlet match on Raw and since the Elimination Chamber to kind of keep him away from the title picture, because if you do put a title on him, then you've got to figure out how to get it off of him, or you've got to run through and squash all the other big guys on your show instead of having these like competitive matches with other people. And I know it's dumb to think like, hey, just make a guy win and make him strong, and that makes sense. But I also think that they're trying to, get the most out of the other commodities on the show when Strowman can be a great attraction elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, that makes a ton of sense. The only thing I would think or counter that with is they just had Brock hold the title for over a year and make like 20 total appearances. So...
get the title off Brock. That's for sure.
No, I'm just saying, like, for Braun, like, you don't even have to really think about how to get the title off of Braun, because you could do it very simply in a fatal 5-way and someone else pins someone else sort of thing, right?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Anyways, that's
right.
enough of that.
Okay, so let's.
Well, I mean,
or is
we're
there
not
anything else?
Yeah, Styles and Nakamura.
Oh yeah, right.
And then the casket match. What the hell is wrong with you?
Sorry,
Jesus.
I really want to finish the show.
All right, let's let's start with.
I don't have a lot of time.
Styles and Nakamura. What do you got?
I think Shinsuke should win the title. Honestly,
yes.
I think he should win the title. I think it'd be fantastic. That's another big thing. But then you'd have 2 world title changes for my booking, and I think it would be fun for Shinsuke to keep. By the way, I've seen it by like 2 other people on social media, but I thought of it on my own, so I'm going to claim ownership of this. And I think that they need to change Shin's finisher to the PEENSHASA.
Obviously, it only makes sense.
PEENSHASA. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I also think Nakamura should take this. AJ would be great as the face in the chase, so that's fine. But Nakamura's character in the span of 3 weeks since WrestleMania has become one of the best things in WWE.
Fist to crotch.
Like, even just when at the end of SmackDown, the look on his face, like now his crazy antics in the ring just seem better.
Yeah.
Because he's like this crazy. I love everything that they've done with that, including the music change. But so let's move on. Taker and Rusev. Casket match.
I just want to double back for a second.
Okay.
I think AJ is going to retain. I know I said like I would love it for Shinsuke to win.
So are you picking AJ?
I'm
or are you
picking AJ.
Oh, you're the. Come on, I already wrote it in.
You pick Shinsuke, I'll pick AJ.
No,
There's
but
got to be some difference there.
You're the worst. Okay, so Taker Rusev.
Undertaker's going to win this casket match.
Yeah.
Duh. But I don't think it's going to be like a 3-minute squash.
No, I think this one's going to have some balls to it.
How is he? You know why I feel like Undertaker giving the tombstone to Rusev is something I don't expect to happen.
He's a big boy.
Rusev is a massive human being.
Yeah.
I think that would matchka the Undertaker's new hip. It would crush your hip bone. But maybe that's why they did the casket match thing, because he could somehow just get him in there. Let's have Aiden English turn heel and just stand on top of the casket. My name's Aiden English, and I'm here to say I'm going to screw over Rusev in a heel turn way. ADC, he likes wrestling. See you in Jeddah.
Wow.
That's not going to happen. But it would be funny.
No, it would be funny. I love how you go saying like, oh, I have no skits for this week, and then you just jump into something.
I don't have skits. That's just me doing Aiden English, bruh.
Ridiculous.
I'm just doing what I can, bruh. I'm here, Brock, every week, bruh.
I will never, and I don't care that it counts against me, I will never not pick Rusev. I don't care what the match is. I'm picking Rusev every single time.
That's great. I'm going to bury his old ass, Matty.
I know it's not going to happen because it's Taker and he's never going to lose again, but he's got to lose at one point, right? This would be good because then they can
They tried that. It didn't go over that well.
But he could come back. He's going to have more matches.
We could ask Undertaker, but I said let's hold off. Okay,
considering let's have him on next week.
Yeah, it's so close to the event. You've got to get to Saudi Arabia. I don't know what it's like trying to make contact. I'm sure you'll have the internet, but I don't know where you guys are staying. Probably some really expensive hotel. So. Yeah. Technologically, it makes sense that I would be able to contact him right now. Plus, really, it's just like they're channeled through my spirit, and this is getting really weird. But we'll talk to him next week.
Okay,
when we know what
let's talk to him next week.
We'll wait till next week.
All right.
I have it on very good authority that I will be speaking with The Undertaker next week.
Okay.
After he buries Rusev.
Softly. There it is. Okay, and then you have 50 choices. Who are you taking in the Royal Rumble?
Oh, yeah, 50 choices. Daniel Bryan.
Well, you're stupid. That was too easy.
It's not too easy. Do I have to give my reasoning? Is that why? You want me to make it fun?
Let me hear your reasoning.
Should I be talking about stuff on the pod to make it like
keep in mind,
audio
Keep in mind that the winner gets a trophy, and that's it.
Yeah, but then Daniel Bryan could just hoist the trophy up over and over like, yes, yes, yes.
True.
No, because of the whole thing with like the 2015 Rumble when Reigns, was in and Daniel Bryan got tossed out and they railroaded the entire thing. And I feel like it'd be kind of like hey, you're back. Why don't you win this? That would be really fun. And or he could be last man standing and Big Cass could give him a big boot over the top rope and they could extend that feud. Get him nuclear heat.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I see your
reasoning. Big Cass and his big nipples and his suit that doesn't fit.
I see your reasoning if you want to keep it in terms of like WWE is taking this match seriously. Like
That's my thing. Dana Bryan.
I get it.
Dana Bryan.
You're probably more right than I am. I'm taking the Great Khali.
I'm always more right than you, and this is your Dana Brooke pick.
Yes, it is.
Of the greatest Royal
I don't
Rumble.
even know if he'll stay in the ring for longer than a minute.
Great Khali.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
He's going to come out 50.
He's going to come out 50. He's going to give a couple people really awkward chops to the head, and then like 16 guys are going to throw him out. Yeah. Wow.
I honestly,
are you going to take the prediction seriously someday, or are you just going to always, mark the fuck out?
Hey, we're supposed to have fun with this. I'm having fun.
You are Matt the Mark.
I'm taking the Great Khali.
Hey, stupid Matty. Great Khali.
I feel stupid for doing that, but I don't even care. It's for
This
fun.
is awesome, Matty. You're
Anyways.
picking the Great Khali. He's the the greatest export in the history of India, Matty.
Anyways, so that's done. Let's move on to Raw.
Yeah, okay, so let's talk about what the giant commercial of a television program that was Raw and SmackDown this week. I thought SmackDown was a little better.
It was way better.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I was a little distracted when I had to watch this week, but so was everyone else because it was a picture-in-picture commercial rama.
Yeah.
You know, with this picture-in-picture thing, it made some sense in the pre-show for the WrestleMania card because they always cut away for commercials on the network, and people are like, why are you cutting to commercial when we're on your network?
Yeah.
So it was a good way for them to advertise without pissing people off. Now it's just a way to get commercials into the body of the show when they're not in commercial break.
And then they go to commercial break.
And then they go to commercial break.
Yeah.
It's just more commercials.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And they're doing like a 10-woman tag, and it's like, also, the men will be wrestling in Jeddah, so pay attention to that and forget the fact that the women won't be there.
Yeah, the timing of that one was pretty ridiculous, but yeah, whatever.
Should we talk about the 10-woman tag?
Do you want to start with that? Sure.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they did a nice Bruno tribute off the top of the show. I don't really have much to say.
Yeah,
about
I didn't
it,
have much to say.
It was really good.
Except for that those things always freaking get me, man. And the
I was a
video
little
package
choked
they
up,
put
really
together
good.
was awesome. So, yeah. Bruno
Sammartino was a classy man, and I love him to death, and he is unbelievably nice. And also, I thought I was going to be at WrestleMania this year. I was not, and I'm sad, Matty.
Fair enough.
There was a 10-woman tag on Raw. It started with this awful promo with Natty teeing up Ember Moon and Nia Jax in the back to say their lines. And I feel like Ember forgot what she was going to say. And it was really cringy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was. There's not much to say about it. They've got to work on that sort of stuff. Ember's new too, right? So she's got to fit into the dynamic.
Why do they feel the need to do that?
Honestly, I don't know, because they did it for the heel side of it as well, but which the heel side, like the Riot Squad, actually had a decent little segment, but I feel like they got to stop this
until
stuff.
Sarah Logan opened her mouth.
No, she was still fine. She's got an accent, but she was way better.
She's still like a marble mouth.
Yeah, she was way better, but
yeah, I like. We haven't talked a whole lot about real sports presentation on this show, but I don't know how many real combat sports television programs there are. Period. But I don't know how many shows sports games where they show like all the guys on the team before the game just talking to each other, being like
football.
Yeah, but it's like a hype speech with a coach. It's not like you're gonna have, I don't know, Carson Wentz there just sitting there talking to one of the guys that just be like, yeah, when we go out there, we're going to bust their heads. How do you feel about that, lineman? That's right.
Well, they should do that, though. That's good.
Right. If you try to get to Carson, I'll bust your ass.
What about you, other linemen?
I don't know the names of the linemen. I'm actually at a blank for other Philadelphia Eagles right now.
Whatever. Linemen. Whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, interchangeable.
Yeah.
Big guy, A, B, C.
We don't get football up here in Canada.
No, we do. I used to
Except
be an
for the
Eagles fan, but I'm a
CFL.
lapsed fan. The last time I watched the Eagles, it was like Donovan McNabb and Brian Westbrook.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a huge football fan still.
No, still huge. All my sports fandom died with my enthusiasm for fantasy sports by getting a constant beating.
Yeah.
Every year, just handing over my $50 to $100 and taking a bunch of L's. And I was like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I quit. And then I stopped checking stats and I stopped really falling.
Anyways, let's talk about the actual match.
Yeah, 35 minutes in here, and we've gotten to the 10-woman tag on.
Yeah.
Raw, so.
No, I you know what? I really liked Nia's spot in the match here where she did, I think it was Ruby Riott. She did the gorilla press too. Then she looked over and winked at Alexa. I thought that was great.
She's gotten a lot better, hasn't she?
She's gotten way better. It's like she found her confidence almost. It's really good.
Well, I haven't seen her almost murder someone in a while.
No.
So that's good. They got Charlotte far away from her.
Yeah,
so
which
they're
is
like,
very good.
You know, we'll preserve Charlotte's lifespan, take her off of Nia Jax's show.
What'd you think about her stage dive onto all like 9 girls though?
It was fun. She looked like a bowling ball.
Yeah, she just like, I've got no grace. It's just
zero vertical. Like, I don't know how high she could get up, but she just went straight. It was a suicide dive.
It was still cool though. I mean,
that was fun.
I don't think we've seen her do anything like that, so that was great.
I have a thought here on the Raw side of things. How small are the women on the heel side? There's like Mickie James, Alexa Bliss, the Riot Squad. None of them are terribly big people.
You're true. Yeah.
I mean, Sarah Logan, I guess, is like the monster now on the heel side. And then you got Nia Jax. And I don't know, Sasha's tiny. A lot of them are tiny.
They're all tiny.
Yeah.
Except for Nia.
Nia's big. Bailey's not tiny, I don't think. I think Bailey's
she's still only like 5'5". Like, she's
really?
not huge. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
But when I was watching this, I was thinking like, man, there are 10 women in the ring and there's still a few women we don't see, which kind of heads back to where we talked about they should only have one tag belt. But just looking at the rosters, the Raw women have 13 women on the actual roster, and SmackDown has 11 to 13 as well. So you could realistically have 4 women in like the regular championship picture, and then another 4 or 5 teams just in the tag division of the women. It's very possible that they do 2 different divisions.
Yeah, it is. I just think that they should have the belt be a traveling belt.
Hey, so do I.
In my opinion.
I know. I totally agree. I'm just saying it is possible for them to do it.
You know who else is much bigger than a lot of the other women on the Raw roster? Ronda Rousey.
My God.
Who just straight up fucked up Mickie James.
This was who I wanted Ronda Rousey to be.
That was great.
It was perfect. She
so-
got a pop when her music hit too, man.
Sure.
That crowd went nuts.
Now, do you think it's going to be a good like first solo match to have her against Mickie James? Or
yeah, I mean, I think you put her.
Is weird here.
I think no. I mean, I think it's good that they're putting her in there with someone seasoned like Mickie James, who's been around for friggin' ever. Because the only other person that she could really work with in that sense would be Natty, which now they're face, right? So it's not going to happen. But I think it worked really well. Like even just when they got in there and Mickie first grabbed her hair, I was like, oh God, here we go with the girl. Oh my God. She just instantly flipped her and went into an
judo flip
armbar.
she does is fantastic.
It's so fast. Like, and you can tell that Mickie, like there's no jumping, there's nothing. She just flips her.
I hope that this is kind of a return to form for Mickie James because, you know, when she came back, we saw her at NXT TakeOver Toronto against Asuka. I'm actually wearing the T-shirt right now.
You are.
And I was kind of underwhelmed. Like, it was a good match, but Mickey's stuff just looked a little weak and a little different than what the current women are doing. And you kind of realize that Mickie was good, but she was a good wrestler at a time when the women's wrestling was not that great.
Yeah.
So she was up there with not even up there with Trish, who was kind of leading the charge at the time.
Yep.
But now I would like to see if she can really hang with someone new. But the interesting dichotomy there, or dynamic there, is that she is against someone who's brand new, but is going to probably overpower her physically. So I'd like to see her out there and really lay it in. I hope she doesn't throw like the weakest looking Mick kick in a match against Ronda Rousey, who's going to literally punch her. And that could really take me out of it.
I would love to see Ronda catch the Mick kick, though. Like, I'm actually excited for it because
and just drag and screw her to the
you
ground.
kind of knew. Well, you didn't know how good the match with Steph and Triple H was going to be. It was way better than we all expected, but you didn't really know how much wrestling Ronda could actually do, and she showed us that it was very good. So I'm kind of hoping that now, where it's just Ronda and another woman, that it's a good wrestling match. I don't want to see a squash match either. So
right,
but I am this week. I'm giving Ronda Rousey my markout moment of the week.
All right,
that pop, the flip. Even she didn't smile and wave. It was perfect.
He's going all in with this mark out moment of the week.
Oh, I'm making it a thing.
Just keep.
I don't
throwing
care
it out
what
there.
you say. I'm making it a thing.
All right. Let's burn through some more of this stuff because honestly, it's
let's do
getting
it.
a little long. 40 minutes.
You're a little long.
Thank you.
Oh shit.
What else happened on Raw that's worth talking about? The Kevin and Sammy show. Or
Yeah,
the Sammy and Kevin show.
We don't have to spend a ton of time on this.
That was amazing.
Obviously, it was amazing. Kurt forgetting the number of his kid, like that whole section. I feel like that was a good time to kind of play on the kayfabe side of it, but also it was like, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months ago where Kurt forgot that he had 6 kids, quote unquote. He said 5 kids. So the whole thing really was funny. Great.
It was good heat too, just being like, what is he says like, oh, you kind of forgot about Kevin or fuck,
Jason Jordan.
Yes. God damn.
This is real life.
Forgot
folks.
about his 6th kid. He's like, oh, it's okay. Kurt forgot. Anyway, it was better on the show.
For a couple of years, Kurt forgot he had a 6th kid as well.
It was better when they did it. You had to be there.
Yeah. I'm assuming everyone saw it. It was funny. But even when he comes out and they don't have a chair for him, so they reach under, they've got like one of those old like 80s
terrible lawn chairs.
Yeah.
Was funny.
The whole thing was great.
The best part about this, I think, was them answering why Stephanie McMahon would back Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn after they've been viciously attacking her family for months.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those quick kind of dialogue fixes. It was just like, well,
okay.
Either she really respects our work or she really doesn't like you. And it's like, okay, she's selfish enough that she doesn't really care that they, hard-weighed her dad and tried to straight up murder her brother.
Yeah, but I mean, that's always kind of been her character, right? Yeah. So it makes sense.
But Kurt's the reason that she has like a broken arm now, and she's angry about it.
Yeah.
By the way, have you ever seen somebody wear a full-on shirt or suit so many times in a row and just rock a T-shirt under it?
No.
Kurt,
well, Mick Foley, I guess, kind of did, right? Mick Foley, well, I guess he wore a sport coat, but whatever. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
And then obviously we saw Lashley and Strowman. Lashley, a big upgrade from Nicholas. Like a big upgrade.
This match was awesome. We were talking about it a little bit earlier with Braun and Kevin Owens on the outside. Just the 3 run-bys were amazing.
That's a hot tag right there.
Oh, man.
That is one hot tag. That was a hot potato.
And you know what? The crowd went crazy. Like, they were into it, too.
Yeah, they
like,
teased it for so long.
Yeah, it was really good. Everything about it. And then Lashley holds Sammy up for like 10 minutes, it seemed like. It was a good match. It was fun.
Can Lashley get over on a show with Strowman? Or is he going to be overshadowed by Strowman's character and charisma?
Anyone's overshadowed by Strowman, so it doesn't matter. The problem is going to be when Lashley's not with someone like Strowman.
I think Lashley should have gone to SmackDown.
I absolutely. He's going to get lost in the shuffle on Raw for sure. But
you got to do that big return on Raw, but then they could immediately shake it up, put him on SmackDown. Yep. There was a Lesnar promo segment, just Paul Heyman blabbering,
blah blah.
And then Reigns came out and said nothing. It was a really good way to waste like 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah, more blah, blah, blah. It was, I'm over it.
On the bright side, it took Booker like 5 minutes to say something wrong. Like, can you call the country Saudi?
Yeah.
I think you can be Saudi. I don't think the country's called Saudi, is it?
I don't think so.
He's like, we're going to find out. It's Saudi.
I also love that within 2 seconds, he's like, yeah, it's good to be back. Just don't do anything wrong. And then not even 5 minutes later, it's like, Booker.
I'm back for 1 week only. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's nice to have Booker T back, so anytime anybody pulls off a big move, you can just hear him go,
Yeah. The one thing I will say about the Lesnar promo.
You about to get in trouble, man. You about to get in trouble, man.
Samoa Joe did a better job of putting Brock over than the 15-minute Lesnar promo.
I know. I love how they've just had to awkwardly promote the Reigns Samoa Joe thing and also a title match thing, and he's cutting promos via cell phone on Raw, and then he's cutting backstage promos on SmackDown.
I'm over this Lesnar Roman stuff. I don't care who wins at this point.
He's just like, I've just been staying at the airport because I don't know where to be.
Yeah.
What show am I on?
Just so ridiculous. I'm done with it.
Well, I can't wait for him to show up on SmackDown and wrestle. Who do you think would be the best first person to wrestle on SmackDown? Maybe Jeff Hardy?
No. Oh, God, I don't know.
AJ Styles post Shinsuke?
Could be AJ. Depends on if he has a belt or not, which I don't think he will. But I don't know. I could see him clash with The Miz a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be okay, I guess. But then you got to treat Joe like a babyface. And I know people cheer him as a babyface, but he's still technically he's that like over popular heel.
Who knows? They'll figure it out.
Let's move down Raw. Rude and Elias, meh. One point I had on this, Bobby going for that DDT early. I feel like he looks dumb. He's just like 2 minutes into the match, he grabs him. He's like, glorious! It's like Elias slips out. He's like, obviously, I'm going to reverse this.
I am not even tired yet.
You yelled glorious and grabbed me in a basic front face lock.
Yeah. I mean, I like that Elias got the win. Rude, in my opinion, is kind of lost in the mid-card shuffle right now.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So, whatever. Axel and Dallas, though, one of the bright spots of Raw.
Okay, this was funny.
Yeah.
All show just...
I kind of want them to
find
keep
partners.
doing this with anyone who's possibly like alone or has a faction. Do this for a month, 2 months. I don't care. I think it's pretty funny.
This is kind of like when they were doing the Heath Slater thing, when he was showing up on Raw and SmackDown, just like trying to get a roster spot, baby.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's great. I didn't understand why they then tagged against Finn and Seth at the end, but whatever.
No idea.
They needed to fill some time, I guess. But I think that what they're doing with them is pretty funny.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Baxel, they were calling him, I guess. Did you see that Bray tweet?
No.
Bray Wyatt tweeted out that they need to like stop doing what they're doing and join the Woken universe.
All right.
That'd be really funny.
That actually would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I could see it.
It'd be good.
Yep.
Ziggler and McIntyre.
Yeah, love this. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel, but I like it. We needed something. We've been saying for a long time that Ziggler needs something, and I think this is perfect for him. I love the attitude at the end. I love the way he mic dropped by giving the old Ole with the fist pump and dumps it over his head. I like everything about it.
You know what you didn't get, though?
What?
New music.
No, we did not. We did not
get
get
another
new
hybrid
music.
entrance, which felt exactly like the Bar's entrance because Drew McIntyre's music
bagpipes?
is very, very similar to the Sheamus music.
Which now maybe makes sense as to why the bar moved.
I guess.
Because it'd be like, oh, who's
Like,
coming
we
out?
can't
We're not
have
sure.
two sets of bagpipe guys.
Yeah. I loved, I think it was Graves that said it. He's like, oh, the Claymore into the zigzag. Those moves alone will end a match 99% of the time. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, thanks for trying to put over the zigzag there, bud, but I'm not buying it. Hey, speaking of stats, 99%, what stats are Dana Brooke keeping? Because I don't think it takes much acumen to put another one in the L column every week.
Well, according to her stats, those are not real losses. So, anyways. Dana. God.
Well, at least Charlie brought the heat after with the sweatpants. Big sexy Matty Hayes and I were watching, and he's just like, well, thanks for showing up in sweatpants, Charlie.
Well, you know.
I was like, no, but those are like velour sweatpants.
Yeah.
She makes the sweatpants look nice.
They're fancy.
She knows they're fancy pants.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Alexa Bliss's moment of bliss?
That was really funny.
Yeah. So I think I have an issue with this storyline now. She's so friggin' good that I think it's kind of overshadowing the real like storyline here, and that it's almost like they're making fun of bullying, or people are at least not buying into it, and they like her so much
so you're getting,
that it's not having the effect.
You think it's so meta at the point now that they're like trying to be anti-bullying to the point that they're making fun of people that are anti-bullying?
Kind of. I don't know. It's just the whole time I'm sitting there watching, I was like, oh, I'm starting to feel a little awkward about this because I find this really funny. But I shouldn't because it's such a serious issue.
Yeah.
And it's because Alexa is so damn good.
I mean, there's a problem with them even playing off of bullying in the first place. It's really awkward. I would be lying if I said I didn't laugh my ass off when Alexa talked about giving a homeless guy her burrito bowl.
That's what I'm talking about. Like
Nia Jax stealing it and the
chopping
sound of her
away.
laughing and chewing.
Like, oh man,
that
like
was
she's
great.
essentially calling her fat from stealing from a homeless person, and it's just,
Well, you shouldn't steal food from a homeless guy, especially not a burrito. I love that it's a burrito bowl. That
I know.
level of description.
not even burrito, but a burrito bowl.
I gave him my burrito bowl.
Yeah, no gluten.
Just, just so you know that she had just been to Chipotle and had a fresh burrito bowl.
Yeah, it's
That's what healthy, skinny people eat, Maddie, burrito bowls.
Yes. It's funny, and I think it's past the point where the story had a good story and it meant something, and now it's like, it's teetering on the line of getting a little ridiculous.
Sure. I mean, this is the post-Mania syndrome, right? The storylines continue. They have backlash, and they got to find new stuff, and we're still, like, hungover from all the excitement, and you get all these stupid add-ons. Chad Gable.
Who cares?
It was good to see him standing up for his dad. That's all I could say. Because standing next to Kurt, how much more did it make sense to see them as father and son?
100%
He literally
makes-
has Angle's face.
Yeah.
With hair. He's an Olympian. He does all the stuff. It's just like, I know this was like a year ago, but
Where's
God,
the unitard? Like,
God
yeah.
damn, does it make more sense to have him? You know what would be great if this was just really a long play to the point where we find out that Triple H and Stephanie were lying, and it wasn't Jason Jordan, it was Chad Gable all along, and then they have heat and they wrestle. That'd be fun.
That would be funny.
What's not fun is mini-me jokes by Jinder Mahal.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up, because I wrote that down too, and I thought, little too soon. Too soon to be joking about the death of someone.
Well, not even that, but like when Jinder and the Singh brothers were doing those jokes about Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
Like the delivery is so flat and it's so poorly executed that you're never going to get the reaction you expect.
No, and it
so
just
for
sounds
Jinder to be like, oh, it can't mini-me. Oh, but he died yesterday, and then to have Sunil just like the fake laugh that's straight out of high school drama class, like that.
Yeah.
Oh shit, bro! Oh my god! It's just, it's so cringy.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Almost as cringy as Booker T calling out No Way Jose for being Adam Rose. And then them just being like, well, 1 week only, Book. Glad you're back.
Yeah, they did. And that goes back to my point of him said, right at the beginning, be like, just don't say anything wrong. And then,
He sounds just like that guy with the sucker.
but he didn't actually
Get it,
call
sucker?
out. Yeah, I get it. He didn't actually call out Adam. Stop it. You're the worst.
Don't be a lemon. Be a rosebud, Betty.
He didn't actually call him
Don't enjoy
out,
my
but
sucker.
the assumption was that he was talking about Adam. I hate you.
With No Way Jose, it's party time all the time.
So you sit here and you're like, oh, we're getting a little long. We better speed through this. And then you're sitting here faking
Because I
a
know
sucker.
what's fun, okay? What's fun is me talking about the party bus with No Way Jose. It's a conga line to the party bus, baby.
I don't
my
care what-
sucker's delicious.
I don't care what anyone says. I like it. I don't like the conga line. I like the fiesta.
I hate it.
It's stupid. It's silly. It's a good.
dumb.
It's a good go to the bathroom sort of thing. Kids will love it. People will get up and dance. That's all it is. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. Overthinking it is just silly.
Big Sexy Matty Hayes said it the best. I've never wanted to see Baron Corbin more in my life. I was very happy.
Yeah, it was good. Although
I think we can kind of pull the plug on Corbin at this point. He does nothing for me lately.
Yeah,
he hasn't for some time.
Yeah, they've kind of buried him a little bit.
Speaking of burials, let's talk about Rusev being in the main event again on SmackDown Live. This guy's getting some camera time.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been talking about this for how long? The guy's in the main event picture. He's fighting all the top guys. Fighting, quote unquote, fighting. He's in a casket match. I like people complaining about Rusev losing. Shut up.
They have played the promo for Rusev and The Undertaker in a casket match so many damn times that like people on MSNBC know who Rusev is now because they're promoting this all over the place. It's on Sportsnet at my place of employ, just like on regular promos, mid anything. Like we're watching hockey playoffs and it's like the Undertaker versus Rusev in a casket match in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
It's everywhere.
It's a big deal.
Yep. Just right off, like one of the notes I made here is just SmackDown is just a great show now. The
I
roster
enjoyed
changes
this week better than Raw for sure.
We're perfect, and I think as long as Road Dogg doesn't F it up, I think that like SmackDown has a chance to really do something great over the next year.
I have a question. Since when are Rusev Day and Nakamura buddies? Because they're like tagging with your friend's Rusev Day, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
Shinsuke
know.
was wrestling them
that,
like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I didn't even catch. Yeah, but he was face at the time.
It's like
4
old
weeks
school
ago.
booking. It's
Yeah.
like as soon as you turn heel, you're in the other dressing room,
You're friends with everyone,
and all the heels are just buddies now.
yeah, I don't know.
So I guess Shinsuke's besties
They're
with Miz
friends
now
now,
and
yeah.
Big Cass now.
Are you popping all over the place for Shinsuke's new music?
I enjoyed it.
I kind of loved it.
Well, it had to happen, right? Because people
For
are going to
sure.
sing along with his music. There's a really funny video. I don't know if it's on Squared Circle or what,
See
but
with the subtitles.
somebody added subtitles to it.
It's good.
And it's all like, I'm going to punch your nuts up into your guts. I'm going to punch your nuts into your guts.
Yeah, it's good. Check it out, definitely.
I think
It's all over the place. You
That
can find
piece
it.
goes really well hand in hand with something I collaborated with the one and only AJ Styles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a couple days ago. I was talking to AJ, and he was saying, just be real phenomenal if I could go like 1 week without getting my dick punched by Shinsuke Nakamura.
Well, so far we're 0 for 4.
So, we came up with this.
Hey, this is the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, and I would love to go more than 1 week without being hit in the junk by Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, when it comes to dick punches, I don't want none. So I had ADC help me out with this song. I know you think it's kind of funny when I feel sad, laughing hard when you punch me in the mailbag. I'm gonna have to throw my cock and balls a funeral. It's real sad cause I'll tell you they were beautiful. You're telling people that you don't speak English. Real Shinsuke, I know that that's a bunch of bullshit. It's been 1 week since you punched my pain. It's red and cloudy every time I pee. Only steps, you turn heel. My junk looks like someone stepped on a banana peel. Shinsuke, please tell me why you do something like this to such a nice guy. People all just stand and watch. You're running around SmackDown Live putting fist to crotch. PEENSHASA!
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I just don't know what to think you do, like when you're home alone before you go to work. Like, this is, how do you...
It's the Barenaked Ladies, Maddie. It's Canada's greatest export, other than ADC.
It's like, you know what would be really funny? A dick punching song to the Barenaked Ladies.
That was awesome. Plus, there's a whole level of real strangeness there to be the dick punch song by a band called Barenaked Ladies.
Yeah. Yeah, I love everything that Shinsuke's doing now. I mentioned it before. Ducking a back fist to a nut punch was just
the
brilliant.
PEENSHASA, Maddie. It's called the PEENSHASA.
Sure. Whatever.
PEENSHASA!
Whatever you want to call it. It was awesome. Didn't see it coming. I mean, if you figured he was going to get it at some point, but the way he did it was great. I like that they keep finding different ways to get the dick punch in there. Sorry, the PEENSHASA in there. I apologize.
The greatest PEENSHASA.
Yeah. It's good. I everything about the main event picture right now on SmackDown is awesome.
Do you ever get that feeling that just something is just about to click big time? That's the feeling I get when I watch Shinsuke Nakamura the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just because his face is so expressive and just like he looks like a heel. You know, the way he's decked out in all the red leather and he's just dancing and he's got like a really mean scowl and have his hair just drooping over his face just to be running around just fucking destroying people's nutsacks. It's just like, it's so good.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it, and I hope he wins the world title.
I hope
honestly.
He does too, because I think it's perfect.
I think it's just a matter of time because he's going to
sure.
get massively over as a heel, and then when they finally flip him back to a babyface, he's going to be tenfold what he was before. Like, people were into the entrance, they were into the song, they kind of got it.
Yeah.
But Vince and the guys didn't really know what to do with him. When they get this nuclear heat from Shinsuke as a bad guy, and then he turns good, and people start to see the change in him.
Yeah.
And they're clamoring for the old song back and the old entrance, and they know what he can do because he's been showing how devastatingly brutal he can be as a heel. He's going to be a fantastic babyface, and he's going to finally be what we expected when he comes over from New Japan. I'm just glad that they're hitting their stride.
I just hope they don't rush the back to face. That's the only thing that I hope.
Need to face.
Need to face. Wow. Anyways.
Well, once he's done with the heel, he will need to face.
Why do I keep coming back?
This show always ends up being like well over an hour. I'm like 40 minutes. 40 minutes. Actually, last week I said 13 minutes.
Yeah, we're over.
We are over.
We're almost done here.
Well, at least we've talked about one of the things that happened on SmackDown. But also the club rejoining AJ Styles, really great because when they were together, they had some really good dynamic going and they're fun, and it just makes them feel. I always enjoyed them better with AJ than I had when they were with Finn Balor. Sure. What I do think is weird is them literally calling it the club when there's the Balor Club on the other show, and then there's just the club on this show with AJ, and you got the OG BC shirts, and then like the what the fuck?
I don't know.
So confusing.
Hopefully they figure it out. I mean, they were the club before, so it makes sense that they bring that back. I don't know.
It really freshens
I feel like
up AJ, though. Like, it really does. It freshens up AJ Styles for, you know, if they're going to continue with his title reign or keep having him do stuff with Shinsuke. Like, it just, you got to tweak things a little bit to make it feel new. Well, and having the club back is a good way to do that.
For sure. And SmackDown doesn't have any factions or anything, right? Other than Sanity coming
Sanity's
in.
coming, so maybe they
So it's a good one for them to do, kind of maybe get AJ away from the title picture for a little while just because he's been there for so long.
Yeah.
It could be fun. I don't know.
What I would do after, you know, Shinsuke does win the title, obviously you got to do a rematch or something.
Yeah.
But then if you had Sanity come up and attack all three of them, You can kind of do what you did with Seth Rollins for a while, where you put them in a faction and get them away from that scene for a bit, and then freshen them up and then have them come back. Or you could have Samoa Joe come in and just totally disrupt things with AJ being like, I didn't win the Universal title, but I want that title.
Yep.
And then you get AJ versus Samoa Joe, which would be fantastic.
Could be amazing.
Miz TV. I enjoyed Miz on SmackDown. Obviously, he feels like a big deal. He's a bigger fish in a smaller pond.
Yep.
And
I think he's better funny here for sure.
Him using fatherhood to stir the pot.
Yes.
Being like, I'm really connected with Monroe Sky. Maybe Daniel just doesn't have that connection with Birdie.
Yeah. No, everyone knows how I feel about The Miz. He's awesome. The promo was great. And the one thing I was thinking the whole time is like, it'd be great if they didn't just give us this feud right away. And they didn't. And I was really, really happy that Big Cass came out, not Daniel Bryan.
What they've done with Big Cass is interesting.
He was awesome, by the way.
I think it's kind of weird, but then, again, I'm going to shout out my boy Big Sexy, who I was watching the show with. And he said he likes it because who's more over than Daniel Bryan? Mm-hmm. You got to get Cass over as a heel. Who's somebody who's actually going to get heat is a guy like Cass picking on Daniel Bryan. So that makes sense. I do think it's somewhat of a weird fit just because I don't know how much I see in Big Cass right now. I didn't think he was that great. I thought he was okay.
Really?
I get very distracted by wardrobe. All I could think the entire time was...
That's a huge suit.
Big Cass showed up, and they were like, we need a suit for you. And Cass is like, I left my suit at the hotel. And they're like, okay, go across the street to the Big and Tall shop, get a suit. We'll bring in the sides as much as possible. He's like, these arms are way too short. And they're like, just deal with it. So he rolled up his shirt sleeves because his shirt sleeves were too short. And then he's out there with his jacket the whole time. And his jacket sleeve was like up to his elbow.
Yeah.
Did you notice this?
Yes,
I was like, did he buy that suit when he was 6'7" and grew to 7 feet tall? I don't know. It bothered me the whole time. I was just like, what is this suit? And the shoulders were all popping out. He had shoulder pads that were like, he looked like one of the linemen that was talking to Carson Wentz earlier in the show.
Yeah, the whole time he was out there, the only thing I thought of is like, so it turns out that the Jersey Boy thing was all much more of an act than we originally thought.
Sure.
Because there was no hint of any sort of New Jersey accent or whatever the gimmick was before. I thought he was great. I really enjoyed it. He gave me more range than I expected him to, and I like everything he said. So shut up.
No, that's fine. If you enjoyed him, that's great. Jury's still out as far as I'm concerned on Big Cass.
Everyone's interpretation.
I just want the guy to go to a tailor, okay?
Fair enough.
Like, I get that you're 7 foot tall, but apparently you taught yourself that to avoid bullying.
Yeah. That was weird.
But, like, if you go to tailor, they can actually make suits that fit you.
It's true.
Am I really harping too much on the suit?
He may just not have had the time that you think he has. I don't know.
Kurt Angle and Big Cass need to step up their suit game, and I will never stop calling them out on it.
Either way, I like the fact that Daniel Bryan and Miz aren't coming together right away, and I hope this is kind of like one
you gotta
where
string us along.
I hope for a slow burn on this one.
I think you'll get it.
Intertwine them a little bit here and there, and that's it.
In my opinion, you have the match at SummerSlam because that's
kind of what I was thinking too. SummerSlam or Survivor Series or something. But
WrestleMania is probably too far away. SummerSlam's
far.
perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
The Iconics think that they're better than Asuka. That was fine. But what I did notice was this is a very slow start to SmackDown because at this point there's like 25 minutes of talking after Miz TV, and then the Iconics come out and cut a long promo about being better than Asuka.
Although I'm not going to lie, I love them checking themselves out in the big screen. I thought that was hilarious.
We're so hot.
Because typically...
Look at us, we're hot.
Because typically wrestlers, they don't really acknowledge it. Like every once in a while it comes back from camera and you'll see them nodding.
Yeah.
But for them to like, in a live promo, be like, look at us. Look at it. We're amazing. I loved it.
Is that screen even normally on?
Yeah.
It usually just says SmackDown Live.
No, I think
remember the Titantron used to always be on and showing what was happening in the show? I don't feel like they do that anymore. They only do that when they're backstage. But maybe it was on for the segment. Maybe they have it turned on. They're like, turn on the screen because we're so good looking.
You know what? Maybe. I'm trying to think back. I think it's usually on for like replays and stuff like that. But
it was on when they replayed Carmella's promo like 8 times.
Carmella has like very quickly become kind of awesome to me. I don't know why.
Yeah.
She went from like a power hungry teacher to like, no, you stand up and you clap for me. We're doing this again until you get it right. I love that. And then she turned into this like gloating little teenage child as soon as Charlotte came out, putting the title in her face. I'm thoroughly impressed with what Carmella's doing.
Is there any way that her actual match
It's gonna be
with
terrible.
Charlotte will be half as good as the
Terrible.
stuff she's been doing? She sent out a tweet, I think it was like yesterday, about how she hasn't had a singles match on pay-per-view since sometime in
December 2016, which I had to think back and I was like, Jesus, not even like a kickoff show?
Yeah.
Like 5-woman tag or something? I don't know. That seems kind of crazy.
You know, with these dual brand pay-per-views, you're going to see situations like that a lot because how are you going to get guys like, I don't know, I always go back to Mojo Rawley and Ziggler and just the lower mid-card guys.
Ty Dillinger.
Yeah, in pay-per-view matches, there's not going to be much of an excuse for them to be on the card because you're going to have title matches from either brand just taking up the majority of it. I'm interested to see what they do with Carmella. Obviously, the contract signing went awry. They often do.
But I like the way this one went. Like there wasn't some like weird long promo where they were just bitching at each other.
I just Charlotte like, okay, well, I'll sign this. And
I
then
kind of liked it.
Fucking flip a table.
Yeah, I like it. She wooed in her face.
Yeah.
Although they botched the head slam because the hat slipped off her head. I don't know if you noticed that. Watch it again.
No, I didn't.
Go back and watch. Her hand and the hat hit the table while Carmella's head is basically still all the way up. It's actually, it was the first
if you've
thing I
ever had the
noticed.
brim of a hat driven into your skull like that,
It
it's
hurts.
a very uncomfortable feeling.
But either way, I liked it.
Hey, how about this? Apparently, if you're Jeff Hardy or Randy Orton, just literally any match is just up for grabs. All you got to do is walk out mid someone else's entrance, and you've actually inherited the match.
Yeah,
and Shelton Benjamin is just cool with wrestling anybody. This dude's just here to get down.
I just, is it me or is this just a weird kind of storyline start to get to Randy and Jeff before? Like, I don't know. The whole thing seems weird to me because of
what I feel like is this is literally the exact same feud. They just swapped out Rude and Jinder and put in Benjamin and Hardy.
Fair enough, actually. Yeah, that's true.
They're just like, well, we liked what we were doing, but it sucked. So let's just put in better wrestlers with Randy and do the exact same thing again, where all three of them are there, and Randy can like tease that he's going to throw somebody into the guy who's sitting at the commentary table.
Yeah.
I like that Jeff kind of got up and was just like, I'm not involved in this. Like, let's not do that angle again.
Yeah.
And I thought it was fun him selling the worked on leg from the week before.
Right at the beginning. I actually thought that was pretty cool.
So I'm wondering if that would come into play at all in Jeddah. It would be an excuse for him to lose the title.
And the Singh bro there went for the knee when he interfered. So
oh yeah, that was good.
I really enjoyed that actually. I like that little
mask.
bit of crossover. So I did put that in my notes. I just we're running tight on time. So
no, you shut up. I like how he was wearing the lucha mask, but it was still very obvious who he was because he's still wearing like
lucha match or was it a Deadpool mask?
Was it? I don't know. It was a mask.
It was red and black. I thought it was Deadpool, but
maybe it was. But it was like a leather mask, wasn't it? But clearly he's still wearing the dress shirt and the pants. Like it's so very
like we
Sunil
know
Singh.
it's you. Like
if I were in the crowd, I'd just be like, "Hey, Maddie, look, there's Sunil Singh in a mask." You'd be like, "What are you talking about? You can't just generalize like that." I'd be like, "Okay, but that's Sunil Singh in the mask."
I don't know. This whole thing to me is super weird just because there is the Greatest Royal Rumble where there is a match and then there is still Backlash. I don't know. The whole thing's... I kind of want these pay-per-views to just get over so we can start over and get away from the crossover. That's all.
Me too. It's a tough slog right after WrestleMania, and it's only going to get longer going into like June and July. But one last thing, I thought the New Day and the Bar were entertaining together, and I love that the New Day always managed to find a way to make sex jokes up stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say this was a pretty funny segment that was filled with
when Sheamus came together to make that. Is that a bar? Is that the bar? What is that? Big E's just like, it's disgusting. Yeah. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's lewd.
Again, I'm done with the pancakes and stuff like that, but little segments like that with the New Day are where they're funny. For sure. And even the bar where they stop them from saying, "We are the bar," then they leave, but they come back. It was a good little segment. It was funny.
Oh, man. Someday I'm going to make a little New Day song. It'd be fun. Let's move on to just two tweets.
The following segment was paid for by the ADCs of wrestling.
Hey, yo. This is just two tweets.
Two tweets.
All right.
This week, we are reading just two tweets, guys.
I want
just two. okay?
Fine.
What?
I know we're tight for time, but I wanted to talk about NXT a little bit this week.
No, sorry, there's no time.
Yeah, that's true.
Next week.
Next week.
Yeah, just 2 tweets. You threw me off. I'm not editing it out. No editing this week. No edits.
So good.
So just 2 tweets this week. Only 2.
Yeah.
We're not reading more than 2. Okay?
Okay.
I know last week I said just 2 tweets. We read like 4 tweets. Just 2 damn tweets.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
It's too much. We're short on time.
All right.
2 tweets.
So how many tweets do we have?
I got like 4 here. But I'm going to read just 2.
Okay.
First, I wanted to talk about this earlier, but I thought I would save it for the segment because, we're only going to read 2. Ryan Connolly, at Ryan Connolly20, tweeted us saying, do you guys think that the women main eventing Raw was a please forgive me moment by WWE because the women are not allowed to wrestle in Saudi Arabia? This is a good point, and I totally thought this, but the more I think about it, I feel like it took less or it put less focus on the women to have them in the third hour of Raw when people aren't watching. We know people aren't watching the third hour of Raw.
Yeah.
At the end of the show, all in one match. Like, let's just sweep all the women under the rug at the very end of the show in the third hour, put them all in one big match, and we can be all like, oh, the women are amazing. But also, during the rest of the show when you're promoting the greatest Royal Rumble, just not have any of the women out there. It was like a great way to just completely hide it all at the end of the show, in my opinion.
I see what
I think
you're
it was
saying.
the exact opposite.
I see what you're saying. I actually think he's kind of on the number here because there is still some clout to being the main event of Raw, whether it's the third hour or not. It's still, it's
great for them to say it.
It's
just doesn't play out like that.
It's still you're still main eventing Raw. So yes, I actually think this was let's get all the women on camera because the week or the few days before. Because we need to get them some TV time before, this kind of... I don't know if it was please forgive us or if it was just to kind of put some focus on them. I don't know. But it does sound like no matter with whether the women are there...
It was PR. It's like, oh, but the women are main eventing tonight.
Yeah, but I think...
they know no one's watching, and if they throw them all in one match...
Yeah, it sounds like the women are actually going to get a pretty big hefty payday out of this as well, even though they're not competing. Whereas that's not typical.
So they're paying them hush money.
It's not hush money, idiot. They're not being... Well, you know what? Technically, they are being quiet about it. The women haven't said a damn thing.
Yep.
Which is...
Except for Lana, and then her husband was taken out of a casket match.
Yeah, fair enough. No, it sounds like they're going to get paid for it, which is not standard. And you already know we think this sucks, so...
Eddie Kokosinski said, I mean, it's cool that Naomi helped Jimmy beat Rowan, but how does that help out Friday at the Greatest Royal Rumble? Won't they just get destroyed to basement Stone Cold's pleasure? Well, I think we already know how Stone Cold feels about it. But yeah. I really enjoy what they're doing with Naomi.
Same.
But,
yeah.
But, wasn't that a heel thing to do on SmackDown? To have Naomi come out and interfere? Like, this was way past the point of distraction. Like, a glow show. They turned out the lights. So how were Jimmy and Jay, or how was Jimmy not disqualified for this? This was ridiculous.
Well, because they never laid their hands on them.
Yeah, but like,
you don't get disqualified unless you lay your hands on the other person.
Like, how is this fair? And your baby faces, it's like they're all happy about it. I don't understand.
Yeah, I think it's still build up for the Bludgeon Brothers, and I mean it is kind of a heel-y thing to do.
It was a very heel thing to do.
But I don't know. I actually liked it. I actually really liked it. I like that they kept the music on. I like that they kept the glow going. I like that everything happened while the music was still going. He still won the match, and then they never shut it off. They didn't play the Usos music at the end. They just let the glow music play. I really liked the segment. I liked the backstage segment as well. I hate to admit it. Their married couple handshake was friggin' adorable. Or they make their
amazing.
fingers kiss.
It's really good to have these two
Yeah.
playing off of each other like this because it adds this level of humanization that they
Absolutely.
have never had. But that's a totally heel thing. And you know who looks dumb when they do this? Everybody. Ever. To have the music play and just be so taken aback that you have to stop mid-match and just stare at them.
Well,
like, they're dumb Vikings. I get it. But like... God damn.
Stop overthinking, man.
You stop overthinking, Manny. Naomi and Jimmy are a couple of cheating motherfuckers, and I was goddamn pissed off. They're a bunch of pieces of trash, and that's the bottom line.
Well,
Basement Steve knows.
I assumed he had a problem with it. I do like that that it seems like some people are listening to the show and they heard my complaint last week about them not really putting these guys together at all. And then this week, oh look, everyone's married, kissy kissy. So loved it.
Yeah. Well,
I did that.
That was just 2 tweets. That was only 2 tweets. So here's the third tweet from King of Chill Style, that's Illuminati. He said, with all the great heels on SmackDown Live, should CN come out as a face? His work as a heel is great, but does SmackDown Live need another one? My opinion, yes. Yes, it does, because you have 2 very, very strong baby faces at the top of the card in AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. Having more heels is good. You also have Jeff Hardy as a baby face that's pretty strong. Randy Orton still, for the most part, is baby face.
Yeah.
And Cien Almas as a baby face is boring as fuck.
Yeah,
You can have Zelina Vega come out there and cut babyface promos.
He didn't get over as a babyface for like a year. The second he turned heel, all of a sudden he was just magic. He was gold. Everything he touched was awesome. So I don't think you can turn him face. He's got to stay heel. Him with Vega, they're the perfect little duo. So I keep him heel. There's no way.
Yeah. And I was going to read Kevin McBride's tweet about Big Cass. He said, did Big Cass just say he got tired of being bullied, so he decided to grow?
Yeah, you kind of talked about that.
But I threw that into the body of the show, so that's even more of a shout-out. You know what I'm saying?
What up?
He's 7 foot tall, and he did, in fact, teach that to himself because he was afraid of being bullied.
But you don't teach it. It just happens, right? That's my
Oh, he decided
that's my
to
counter.
grow. He decided to grow.
Yeah, all right.
I was bullied, and then I grew because I wanted to. That's this week's show. It's way longer than like every other show. It was supposed to be the tightest show we've ever done.
Yeah.
I hate my life. I'm going to go clean my house.
Look, these are going to be over soon. The Royal Rumble backlash is going to be over. We're going to be back to normal. There'll be no more crossover. We'll be back to under an hour. Just relax.
Remember when
man.
WWE were like, now we're going to have co-branded pay-per-views. There's going to be less shows. By the way, 2 weeks after WrestleMania, we're going to do a huge show. And then in 2 weeks, we got Backlash. And then who knows, they're going to like do some televised, MSG show like 2 weeks after that. That's a big deal that they have to build to. They're just going to find a way to pigeonhole in more shows that aren't actual pay-per-views, that are network specials that they didn't tell us all about. They're going to blindside us with them.
Yeah. And this Greatest Royal Rumble is actually going to be huge. Have you seen the stage? The pictures
it looks
of the
awesome.
stage? It's
Looks
crazy.
Awesome. It's like WrestleMania big.
Yeah. Looks like Randy Orton's going to be number 22 in the Rumble.
Oh, yeah? How do you know that?
Well, I don't know. There was a picture that had they were doing tests, and they had the Royal Rumble number 22 up on the sides,
Oh,
and then
okay.
his music, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
Whoa. That stuff's picked at random. Day of, Maddie.
I
They
must.
don't know that beforehand.
I must have been mistaken. They could just been testing it. If he comes out at 22,
Yeah.
though, we know it's a lie. Everything is a lie. I bet you they script the damn show.
Oh, my God. No. You've ruined everything. Why don't you subscribe to our damn show on iTunes? Leave us a 5-star review. Tell people about it. It helps out a lot because if people show up on the page and there's a lot of happy people talking about the show, then they're more likely to listen to it and subscribe to it. It's akin to going to a party and showing up and having people actually being there and having a good time as opposed to showing up to an empty party and being like, peace out. This sucks.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Follow us at ADCs of Wrestling. Follow Matty here at Matt the Markiest.
That's me.
That's an IEST at the end of it.
It is.
And follow me on Twitter at Andrew David Cox, Instagram under the same handle, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Andrew David Cox for funny shit, including segmented portions of the show, like Between Two Beers or AJ Styles singing about his junk. Stuff like that.
PEENSHASA.
Yeah, PEENSHASA, things like that. So we'll see you next week. Ball game.
Peace.
Bye.
You're a dick.
No, you're a dick. Okay? It's my show. I'm finishing the show. Bye. That sucked. Just do the thing.
Peace.
Okay, bye.
Peace.
Don't say it twice.